Welcome back to the 40-year-old reset. This one gonna be a little bit more personal than other ones have been. I want to talk about something that probably a lot of us ask ourselves at some point in our life, and it's one I had asked myself recently: is which birthed this YouTube channel? Am I depressed, or does my life just suck? That's a honest question that some of us need to ask ourselves, especially if you've been struggling with depression for a long time, like I have. And it's gonna be a tough question with even tougher answers. Like, you feel like you just walking through a fog with zero direction, and no matter which direction you walk, it's fog, and there's nowhere to get to. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about depression and what it actually is. It is more than just feeling sad or having a rough day. It's a mental disorder that can affect the way you feel, how you react to things, and just basically how you handle day-to-day issues and just day-to-day life. Mine's is persistent. Sometimes it lasts weeks, sometimes months, sometimes even years. I don't think it ever goes away. I think you just constantly deal with better ways to cope and fight it. But the simplest way that I personally have defined it is like you in this huge space, right? And it's separated by a huge piece of glass, and you standing on one side of the glass and everybody else is standing on the other side of the glass having the time of their life. It's music blasting, everybody's dancing, and it's just you alone in this dark room, and everybody can see you. And they keep saying, hey, come over here. It's great. But what they don't understand is there's no door. So you sitting here, you just watching people have the time of their life, and you just in this dark room alone, and there's no door. And they see you, but they don't understand why you don't come over there. There's no way over there. And it can feel like that sometimes. Classic symptoms of depression can be fatigue, hopelessness, loss of interest, like things you love to do, you no longer do. And you might just think you lost interest, but it might be deeper than that. Some things to look for are just feelings of hopelessness. Where I'm currently at is never gonna get better. Being tired all the time, losing interest in things that you used to normally enjoy, you might have thought you're growing out of, but that might not be the case. Big changes in your sleeping or eating habits can also cause issues. If you feel like you've been having these feelings for an extended amount of time, it might be time to consider reaching out for help. For the flip side of that, what if you're not depressed? What if your life just sucks right now? But we all go through bad patches. The problem is you just got to recognize them. Like, we all go through bad relationships, bad jobs, bad financial situations, stressed out financially, or sometimes it just feel like just on a hamster wheel, running and going absolutely nowhere, but doing the same thing day after day after day, just working and working and working. But it's easy to confuse being stagnant with depression. A lot of us doing it to ourselves. Either it's bills, work overload, social media comparisons. Your own thoughts is what's putting you in this space. But the difference is when life is tough, it's usually like you can point to something directly. Like, that is why I feel this way. Sometimes you're just stuck. Like, oh, if I'm got some money, this would probably go away. If I found a new job, this would probably go away. If I cut off these people, then this would probably go away. If I stayed off social media, this would probably go away. So how do you tell the difference between depression and life just being tough right now? It could be hard, but here are some key differences. If you can actually pinpoint a cause of why you're feeling down, if you can pinpoint why you feeling exactly this way, you can make micro changes on either how to alleviate that situation or make it go completely away. Now, it may be a problem that you can't do nothing about. And in that case, you just have to change your mental response to that issue. I never said it's going to be easy, but I think it's simple. Never said it's going to be easy, but it's really simple. Now, if you've made major changes or small changes and this feeling is persistent and it never goes away, you may be depressed and you might want to seek professional help. I'm no professional, but I can only tell you from my personal experiences, and that's it. And that's all I'm sharing is my personal experiences. Let me tell you a story. When I was 26, I was just in a dark place in life. I never considered depression. Like, I had been to therapy before, but only because I had to keep my job at the time when I was like 19. That's another story. So 26, I always thought I was depressed because I was broke all the time, consistent. I had 3 kids. I was staying in a 1-bedroom apartment because that's all I could afford at the time. And I thought that was the reason why I was depressed, because I didn't have any money. And I worked so hard and I never had any money. But then I got a promotion to supervisor, which was, I think at the time it was like $8 more an hour. Now for me at the time, that was life-changing money. And I mean life-changing money. I got a bigger apartment, a nicer car, paid bills on time, different standard of living just from that $8 an hour, which was crazy at the time. But even with all that being said, my mood never changed. Like I still felt in that same low spot. That's when something clicked to me, like, okay, something's not okay. Something's not right. Maybe I need to dive into getting some help. So if you're struggling to figure out where you stand on this, here's a few things you can do. Reflect on how you feel. Like, sit down, no music, no nothing, by yourself. Feel. I know it sounds weird, but just feel and try to pinpoint any stressors in your life, things that make your blood boil when you're most upset what's going on. Or talk to somebody you trust. Hopefully you have at least one person in your life that you never have to question if they had the best interest in you, even if it's harsh at times. Talk. Tell them your feelings, and you'll get way more support than you expect. I didn't learn to reach out. It took 40 years. I mean, for me to start reaching out and letting people know, like, I'm not okay. If you don't have anybody, then a lot of employers I've been to had programs where you can see at least like telehealth therapists for free, and it won't cost you a dime. And men specifically, your homeboys is not gonna clown you. Not at our age at this point, because most of us, I've noticed when you tell your truths, you hear a lot of other people's truths, and most of us going through the same things. We just too ashamed to admit it. But I feel like I've held y'all hostage long enough. On a lighter note, at the end of the day, it's all right. You're not gonna have all the answers up front. It's not possible. Like, anybody to tell you they got this figured out, this thing we call life, they lying. They probably in worse shape than most of us, because it's gonna be a long road for them. Also understand, you don't have to go through this alone. Like I used to use Jordan Peterson's description on the dragon in the cave. Like, it's something you need to face, but you've let that dragon grow, and you don't know how big it is when you go in there, and you're afraid if you face it, it'll destroy you. That's the weight that we carrying, is that dragon in that tunnel. I had used this metaphor with my brother one time because he couldn't figure out why I was having such a hard time getting back into therapy. And so I told him about the dragon, and he said, there's a problem with your metaphor. He said, the issue is you going in that cave alone. He let me know, like, he said, we got a village, and it doesn't matter how big that dragon is. And that right there changed my life, and he'll never know how much it changed my life. It's too early in my channel to be crying on here, so I appreciate your time, and I hope I was able to help with something, like at least get the ball rolling. And if not, there's plenty more videos on here. Just watch until something clicks. Got Jordan Peterson, Les Brown, Eric Thomas. There's a plethora of information out there. You just gotta find it. But anyway, thank you for watching. If I brought any value to you, just comment, let me know. If I didn't, comment, let me know. We all here to get better in everything that we do. So thank you. And as always, appreciate you.